What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first edition of Talley Talk, only on Talley TV. I'm your host, Chris Talley, and I promise there's no mask required for this show. Today, I'm sitting with sports announcer Jeremiah Gallegos in Austin, Texas. How you doing, Jeremiah?
I'm doing well. I got done doing some voiceovers earlier and did some grocery shopping and worked out. So I'm rocking and rolling. Yeah.
This is actually not the first way that I experienced to have my first Talley Talk, actually. Talley Talk was
Yeah.
intended to be a one-on-one interview in person, live, but you know what? I'm glad you're joining the show today, so thank you very much. This is going to be posted on Talley TV's YouTube page, Facebook, and Twitter pages, and
Awesome.
I'm just glad you're here today. Jeremiah, if for many of you that don't know, is a longtime friend of mine, mentor, and I look up to the guy, so thank you for being here
Thank you.
today.
It's an honor.
I do want you to, I guess, tell me about your experiences during COVID-19, because, you know, you and I both know that 2020, no matter whether we're in Austin or in Houston, cases keep rising, and it has been one hell of a year.
You're absolutely right. One hell of a year is a good way to put it. 2020 has been a crapshoot, but we're trucking along. Unfortunately, the whole COVID thing came about. Um, I was pretty optimistic. Still am in the beginning of the year with all these shows and opportunities coming up. I was having an opportunity to work the Kovalev fight, what's a big championship bout in Indio, California on pay-per-view, but that fell through because of the whole COVID. And I had some other events, Houston Dynamo, and it just things just started collapsing. And it's not just me. I'm not the only one that's suffering, from these opportunities that were lost. It's a lot of the sports world as well. We're hurting. We really are hurting. A lot of us who are not just only working in production, it's behind the scenes, including some of the players. Some of them did get this whole COVID thing, and they're not able to compete. So the entire world is hurting right now, and all we can do is try to add some positive vibes in our community and among this world. So yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, this is something that we thought would maybe last a few weeks, maybe last a month, but
Right.
from about March 12th is when everything started till about now in July. We're almost halfway through the year of 2020. And I know everybody is just saying, hey, 2020 is canceled and we're moving on to 2021.
Yeah.
And that's all we can hope for is just moving on to the
Yeah.
future. But with you,
Yeah.
Jeremiah, I know you went from announcing many, many sporting events across the United States and Canada. And then how did it feel going from being on top of the world to almost doing virtually nothing at all? Can you tell me about your experience?
Yeah. So, as you mentioned, we had sports going on. It was happening. March Madness was getting ready to happen. Houston Dynamo soccer, we only got one game in, and this whole COVID thing happened, this pandemic, and everyone went into survival mode. That's exactly what it was, survival mode, and from purchasing toilet paper, the essentials. Everyone went bonkers, trying to get all that situated. So the grocery stores were overwhelmed with a lot of requests. So as for me, at the time I was living with my then girlfriend, and I didn't have any work. Uh, yeah, 2020. I mean, the beginning of it was great, and then all of a sudden March hit and things went to hell. Uh, so I went into survival mode myself as well. I got a job at HEB. Well, the beginning I started doing something that's called Favor. I'm
Mhm.
still doing Favor right now, but believe it or not, you gotta make the money, man. Even though these gigs are not here, you gotta find a way to make money. I'm doing all these little small ways to earn my own paycheck, my own living. So yeah, I got a job at HEB, and they were looking for temporary position people to fill their temporary positions, and I was able to work at HEB for a good while, and I enjoyed it. And let me say this: I have a whole new respect for the grocery industry. It is incredible. I mean, there's so many moving parts within the grocery industry, and it's a collective effort at the end of the day. It really is. So a lot of the people there were just incredibly nice, and they knew our situation, and that was really important for us. And we're willing to also help out our community, help out the folks in Texas get what they need, their essentials, their food. And unfortunately I'm no longer there, but I every time I walk into a store, I value the people that work there, because they work really hard, believe it or not. They do. A lot of people say they just, I heard, even me, I'm not gonna lie, personally, it's like, that's nothing, blah blah blah. When you're in there, it's a whole different story. You know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
the folks, uh, number one. I'm not gonna lie, they are number one. A lot of those employees are amazing. So take it to a personal level. My relationship with my then girlfriend was kind of declining. So there was a lot going on. There was a whole lot. The money wasn't coming in because I rely on these gigs and these opportunities, and that wasn't coming in. So I remember it was on a Wednesday, April 22nd, if I recall. Yeah, April 22nd. I woke up. Uh, was pretty stressed out the day before. I was really stressed out. I woke up and I was complaining to my ex that my neck was hurting, and I just felt fatigued. I felt tired, and I woke up and I had the dog was on the bed, and I was petting him, and my face and body on my right side felt really, really heavy. And I was, I kind of shook it off, whatever. So I go to the restroom like anybody does in the morning. They have to do their thing, and then and then you go brush your teeth. And when I'm brushing my teeth, I kind of started noticing that the water and everything was just coming out of my right side of my mouth, and I couldn't keep anything in. And I saw my face kind of starting to get droopy. I kind of panicked. I was like, Jesus, am I having a stroke? And I yelled to my then girlfriend, and I told her, it's like, hey, I think I'm having a stroke. So I'm freaking out because my body is just not doesn't feel it feels heavy. So I went to the ER right away. They did test. They did an MRI, CAT scan, the whole nine, and it turns out it wasn't a stroke. They thought it was because I was having the symptoms of someone who's having a stroke, and luckily, thank God, it was benign. It was Bell's palsy, and I didn't know what Bell's palsy was exactly. But then again, I was like, wait a minute, my mom had an episode of Bell's palsy, and this is similar, very similar. So the doctor did confirm it. It was Bell's palsy. It is facial paralysis on whatever side of the face you get it on. And then not only that, it's doctors are not sure why it happens, what causes Bell's palsy, but it's the seventh cranial nerve that comes out from your ear, a small little canal in your ear out to your face. And that was injured, paralyzed, or a virus hit it, or something happened. They're not exactly sure what happened, but I'm very lucky because there were no boxing gigs going on, no sporting events going on. So as weird as it sounds, it came out at the right time.
Yeah.
It really did. It is like, oh geez, there's no sports, and my face looks like this, so I can, I'm okay. But thank the good Lord, I was after a month and a half, I was able to recover. The recovery's not all there yet. It's my face. I can get my smile. I'm finally having my smile back, but as far as my my eyelid, it's not blinking all the way. So I'm okay with that. As long as I can smile, I'm able to talk. And those were one of the things that I feared. Not a lot of people can deal with that, knowing that they can't smile anymore. And I feel their pain. I feel their pain, and it sucks.
And you've had many
But
people reach out to you after your experience. You
oh
had
yeah,
one of the announcers from WWE reach out to you Jim
Yeah,
Ross also had Bell's
Jim
palsy, correct?
Ross. Yeah, Jim
I
Ross.
see that on your social
He
media
had,
pages.
yeah, he had Bell's palsy 3 times. Poor guy, and he didn't really recover on the last one. That's why I tell people, got to take care of yourself. Got to do as much as you can, exercise, eat the right foods. Take your vitamins. And speaking of vitamins, got my vitamin C here.
And this is not an
But
HEB
you
ad,
know,
but HEB here, everything's better. The
yeah,
HEB
well, it,
vitamins.
it, it is HEB too. Yeah. So, Jim Ross was really good. He was very informative. He gave me some good motivation and keep trucking through. I had Jimmy Lennon Jr., world famous ring announcer, literally one of the best in the world. Um, I had some pretty notable celebrities. Max Kellerman as well reached out to me. That was awesome. And then Max Bretos too. So it was a blessing just to get those messages across. A lot of friends and family, So I'm happy. So, but other than that, I'm happy I got through it. And like I said to anybody who's dealing with Bell's palsy, you too can get through it, but you got to be patient. So
Well, it looked like that you had you had everything going for you.
yeah,
As 2020 progressed, things slowly started to decline. But I'm
yeah,
looking at you today. You're here. You're healthy. You're happy. I'm glad you
yeah.
are, and I'm glad
Thank
you're
you.
going through a full recovery, Jeremiah. So thanks for joining me. Thanks. I
Oh,
do
absolutely.
appreciate that.
My
What do you
pleasure.
hope for? What do you hope for the future? 2020 still is looking bleak. Looks like things are opening up and they're closing back up, and we
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. We don't know what the rest of the year is going to hold for us. So, what is it that you hope to get back to? I know you want to get back to announcing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like you said, opening and closing is like a moody universe. Doesn't know what it wants, but a lot of the folks need to do their part and social distance, put on their mask, and wash their hands. Most importantly, because uh, if that we keep adding to these numbers, none of this is, we're not going to get out of it anytime soon. So, but what I do wish, what I am hoping for personally for me, is that, yeah, definitely for all my friends to get back to what they love doing. Um, I want to see that. Important to see, friends and family back to work. And as for me, definitely, I want to get back to announcing more gigs and doing more events and watch sports. And we're almost there. We got Astros baseball coming up.
Yeah.
I miss all that Houston Dynamo soccer. So yeah.
For still being here in Houston, I can't wait for the Astros to come back and to wear my Astros shirts at work. Of course, right now I'm wearing my University of Houston. I'm still sporting them even if I'm having online classes over the computer. So I'm still sporting. I'm still Cougs all the way. I'm still, yeah, there we
Right
go.
on,
Got the
right
symbol
on.
up. Yeah, I'm still supporting
Yeah.
100%. And I am looking forward to the fall. As right now, as things are changing, as this is somewhat the new normal, let's just hope for 2021 to be, back to the way it was.
I understand. I'm there with you right now. I have 2 Facebook pages. One is a personal one, the other one is professional, and it's overwhelming. I've had many friends, including myself, get anxiety. I had a near anxiety attack from just seeing everything that's going on. Uh, it's we're living in a pretty sad world right now, and we're seeing everything that's actually happened in the past. Now we're reliving everything. It's like history repeats itself, but it's all happening at once, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a bit frightening. But like I said, I'm relying on prayer and I'm relying on positivity from people all over, and it's not easy to. It's kind of cliche to say, hey, you got to be positive, but you really got to
But
push
in
yourself
dire
to that
times
to
like
that
this,
point.
you do. Yeah, in dire times like this, you have to stay positive. With everything going on, everything will align once again and come back to, a happy earth. I do see that.
Yeah,
In these dire times, I never pictured that I would be living through like a history book type of pandemic. This is stuff
that's
my kids will be,
Mm.
I guess, talking about later on, saying, "Hey, how was it like living during the coronavirus?" And say, "You don't want to know."
No.
But
Yeah, you're
I guess going
absolutely right.
further
We
too,
are living in a book.
I did want to note. So you did touch on your, I guess, brief HEB career. How was it like working for the Texas mega giant HEB?
It was great. I enjoyed it. It was awesome. People were, I did curbside, and man, talk about getting all those uh, grocery bags and picking everything out in a certain period of time. That's pressure. That's that's a lot of pressure, but it's important to do all those things, because the customer comes first. But everyone was wonderful where I was at, and I learned a whole lot about it. Like I said, I have a whole new respect for the grocery industry, and the people who work there were just amazing. So, I made some friends here and there, and if I could go back, I would. With the uncertainty with when it comes to my ring announcing career, it's kind of hard to say, hey, I'm going to be able to work this week, and then all of a sudden, hey, I got a boxing gig coming up, and I can't do that, and
Yeah.
it kind of throws everything off on their schedule. So yeah.
Hey, thanks for having a whole new perspective on the grocery store industry. You know,
Absolutely.
I can say I probably do have one more good year left in me before graduation. So HEB's been a part of my life for about 4.5 years now. So
Wow.
I'll make it year 5 coming up.
Heck yeah. And I wish you all the best. That's awesome. Very awesome.
All right, Jeremiah, thank you so much for sitting with me today. I do wish you the best in your ring announcing career, and hoping that 2020 and the rest of the year does wish you well, sir.
Thank you so much. And before I go, I have to do this for you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the undefeated Zoom meeting that I've ever done, and the only one. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up one more time for your host, Chris of Talley Talk. And go Cougs.
Go Cougs. Thanks, Jeremiah.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be talking soon. Thanks so much for the interview today.
My pleasure, brother. Take care.